My fiancé left me out of the blue, then quietly hooked up with my cousin. She thought she'd come out on top. Until my one move at family dinner silenced the whole room, my fiancé ended things with me without any warning, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I genuinely believed we were solid. Sure, every couple has rough patches, but nothing that felt fatal. We'd been together 4 years, engaged, talking venues and dates, and then, just like that, she said it was over. Her reason. My job at the family restaurant. Yeah, my actual job. Look, I know the hours aren't normal. Evenings and weekends are busy, and I'm usually walking in the door when she's already been off work for hours. But this was never a secret. She knew the schedule before she ever said yes to the ring. Tuesdays through Thursdays I'm there 4:30 till close, Fridays and Saturdays even later. We still had Sundays off together, Saturday mornings, and plenty of time before my shifts. I thought we managed. Apparently she didn't. Laura started complaining that we never saw each other, that I needed to find something better because she was tired of spending her evenings alone. I even offered her a position at the restaurant, so we'd literally be together more and stack extra cash for the wedding. She turned it down flat, said it would feel weird working for my parents. Fair enough, I didn't push. But the comments kept coming, every couple of weeks. When are you going to look for something with normal hours? I don't know how we'll ever have a life like this. It wore me down. I love that restaurant, it's been in our family for generations, and yeah, the hours can suck, but it's mine. I'm proud of it. Then one random night she sat me down and said, "Ethan, I can't marry you if you won't change jobs." I thought she was joking. She wasn't. She laid it out cold. If I wasn't willing to leave the restaurant, she didn't see a future. I begged her to talk options. Maybe I could cut some shifts, maybe we could make it work, but she was done listening. She needed more time, more effort, more proof I was serious about us. I reminded her I was literally saving for our wedding while working those late shifts. How much more serious could I get? She just repeated that I clearly didn't care about her needs. That one stung deep. Next thing out of her mouth, maybe we should just be friends. No fight, no screaming, just calm, rehearsed like she'd practiced it in the mirror. I asked if she was really willing to throw everything away over my job. She said it wasn't just the job, it was that I refused to change for us. I pointed out she'd known the deal for years. If it was such a deal breaker, why accept my proposal in the first place? She admitted she'd assumed I'd grow out of the restaurant eventually. That felt like a slap. She didn't want me, she wanted a future version of me that didn't exist. After that talk, I couldn't even look at her. I started staying at the restaurant even later just to avoid coming home. But here's the kicker, she didn't leave. She kept living in my house, acting like we were suddenly roommates. I'd walk in at midnight and she'd be curled up on the couch watching Netflix like nothing had changed. It made my skin crawl. Finally, I told her point blank, "Laura, we're not together anymore. You need to move out." She acted shocked, like I was the one being unreasonable. Started crying about having nowhere to go, how I was heartless for throwing her out. I offered her parents' place 10 minutes away. Then I asked for the ring back. You'd think I asked for her kidney. She lost it, called me greedy, said if I really loved her I'd buy another one, accused me of kicking her to the curb after everything we'd been through. I was done arguing. I just wanted her gone. The next few days were torture. She dragged her feet, stayed out late, came back and acted like everything was normal. One afternoon I came home to find her having coffee with my mom, who she'd apparently invited over without telling me. They both hit me with the "can't you give her a little more time" routine. My own mother taking her side nearly broke me. I held the line. Told them both this wasn't up for family discussion. Told Laura she had until the end of the week or I'd start formal eviction, harsh, but I was at my limit. She played the victim, teared up in front of my mom, said she never thought I'd treat her like trash. Mom looked disappointed in me. That one hurt. The next day she disappeared for hours. I thought maybe she'd finally left. Nope, just another power move. She rolled in late, ignored me, and locked herself in the bedroom. I texted her a final deadline. She replied that she couldn't believe I was doing this to her. By Friday, she was packing, loudly, dramatically, slamming drawers so I'd feel guilty. I refused to take the bait. When she tried one last time to keep the ring, I just repeated, "No wedding, no ring." She handed it over like I'd stolen something from her, but the second it was in my hand, I felt 1,000 pounds lighter. She was finally gone. I thought that was the end. Then I started finding her stuff everywhere, clothes in the dryer, books on the shelf, her damn toothbrush still in the bathroom. While boxing things up, I found a hidden notebook. Page after page of complaints about me, how unhappy she'd been for months, how she'd been waiting for the right moment to leave. It gutted me. She'd been mentally gone long before she said the words. A week later, she texted asking to swing by for the rest of her things. The pickup was painfully awkward. She barely spoke until she was leaving, then stopped in the doorway and whispered, "I never wanted it to end like this." I didn't have anything left to say. She walked out, and the door closed on 4 years. I started therapy. Needed someone to tell me I wasn't crazy or a complete failure. Turns out I wasn't the villain she painted me to be. Sometimes people love the idea of you, not the reality. That was us in a nutshell. Months passed. Mutual friends started hitting me with sympathy messages for her. Apparently, Laura was telling everyone I blindsided her, threw her out, demanded the ring back like a monster. People I barely knew were texting me about how heartless I was. I had to keep explaining she ended it, not me. Then her best friend Jenna sent a 10-paragraph essay about how I gave up on Laura. I shut it down fast. Things finally started quieting down. I went back to hanging out with my buddies, working, breathing again. Until one night, a regular customer pulled me aside at the restaurant and said, "Hey, saw your ex the other night. She was all over your cousin Chris at the new bar downtown." My stomach dropped. Chris, my actual cousin, the one I grew up with, I texted him. He admitted they'd been hanging out for weeks and didn't tell me because he knew it would be awkward. Awkward, that's what he called it. Laura texted too, wanted to talk. Against every instinct, I agreed to coffee. She gave me the whole "it just happened" speech, said she never meant to hurt me. I told her this wasn't about them dating. It was about basic respect for me and my family. She didn't have an answer. I blocked her number that day. Chris tried apologizing later, but the damage was done. Family gatherings are going to be weird for a long time. And then came the family dinner we host every month. Everyone was there, aunts, uncles, grandparents, cousins, the whole crew. Chris and Laura thought they could just show up together and play happy new couple like nothing was wrong. I waited until dessert was served, stood up, and slid the engagement ring across the table right in front of them. "I believe this belongs to the family now," I said, loud enough for every single person to hear. "Since it looks like it's staying in the bloodline one way or another." Dead silence. Not a fork moved. My grandmother actually gasped. Chris went red. Laura looked like she wanted the floor to swallow her. I sat back down, took a bite of cake, and smiled. Checkmate. Sometimes the best revenge is just letting everyone see the truth at the exact same moment. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.